Decoding the future of AI. Welcome to AI Perspective. What if an AI could think before it speaks? Not just recite information, but truly understand a question, admit when it doesn't know enough, and then go on a relentless hunt for the truth? It sounds like science fiction, but Google just quietly released something that comes dangerously close. It's a full-stack AI agent built with the powerhouse Gemini 2.5 at its core and the brilliant logic of LangGraph running the show. And its most incredible feature? It refuses to answer until it's absolutely sure of the facts. In a world flooded with misinformation, that's not just refreshing, it's revolutionary. Now I know what you're thinking. Haven't we had AI that can browse the web for a while now? And you're right, sort of. But most large language models have a pretty shallow approach. They run a quick search, skim the top few results, and spit out an answer. It's a one-shot attempt that works for simple questions, but falls apart when things get complex or when the information is changing rapidly. This is different. This is a whole new league. What Google and a team of open-source contributors have built is an agent that embodies intellectual humility. It knows its own limits. It uses a structured search and reflect loop, constantly refining its queries until every single piece of the puzzle is in place. Only then does it write a comprehensive, well-supported answer, complete with direct links to the sources it used. The result isn't a chatbot reply, it's a research summary. Let's pull back the curtain and see how this thing is built. The structure is clean, modern, and incredibly smart. Up front, you have a sleek user interface built with modern web technologies. It's fast, responsive, and runs smoothly in your browser. But all the heavy lifting, the real thinking, happens in a dedicated backend. The two sides are completely independent. This means you can tweak the user interface, or experiment with the core logic without breaking the entire system. It's a developer's dream for testing and customization. The real magic is in the core logic file. This is where you can see the agent's decision-making process laid out. You can literally see how it decides when to keep digging for more information, and when it's finally confident enough to give you an answer. Now, before we go deeper, I know many of you are watching all this AI news and thinking, this is amazing, but what can I actually do with it? That's a fair question. The truth is, while the tech giants are building these incredible tools, regular people are already using AI in clever ways to create extra income on the side, often without needing deep technical skills. It's a side of the AI revolution that doesn't get enough attention, but we'll talk more about that a little later. For now, let's get back to Google's new AI agent and see it in action. Imagine you ask it a highly technical question, something like, how does 3-stack high bandwidth memory, or HBM3, manage to stay below 85 degrees Celsius during long, intense workloads? An ordinary chatbot might just give you a generic definition of HBM3, but this agent is different. It doesn't just jump to an answer. First, it deconstructs your question. It identifies the key components, the thermal limits, the specific architecture, and the real-world use cases. Then, it generates precise search terms and queries the web. It reads through the results, technical documents, forum discussions, academic papers, and critically evaluates them. It asks itself, does this information fully answer every part of the user's question? If the answer is no, it doesn't give up. It goes back, refines its search, and digs deeper. It's designed to repeat this cycle of searching and reflecting until it has the complete context. You won't see it typing out half-baked thoughts or rushing to a conclusion. There's a short delay, yes, but what you get in the end is a fully formed, well-sourced response that feels like it was written by an expert who did their homework. And every key point has a clickable citation, so you can verify everything instantly. This level of precision is a game changer for researchers, for technical support teams, for anyone working in a field where bad information isn't just annoying, it's costly. And the best part? You can run this yourself. Setting it up locally is surprisingly smooth. You install Node.js and Python, drop in your Gemini API key, and run a couple of simple commands to get the front-end and back-end communicating. Once it's live, you can watch the entire process unfold. You see the questions it asks itself, the searches it performs, the conclusions it draws. And if you want to experiment? If you want to tweak how it thinks, maybe by adjusting a setting in the LangGraph file, the system responds instantly. It makes experimenting with AI feel fast, hands-on, and honestly pretty addictive. Now let's talk about deployment. When you're ready to take this from a local experiment to a live application, the entire system is bundled together. You don't need to juggle separate servers. Everything, the front end, the back end, the static files, is packaged into a single Docker image. Behind the scenes, it uses industry-standard tools. Redis handles live updates, keeping the connection between the front end and back end fast and responsive. And a Postgres database tracks everything the agent does, every conversation, every piece of memory, ensuring that nothing gets lost. You just paste in your access keys, press start, and your personal AI research agent is running. And for the developers and businesses watching, you can breathe easy about licensing. It's all released under the Apache 2.0 license. That means you can fork it, remix it, and even drop it into a commercial paid product without any restrictive clauses coming back to haunt you. This openness is a big deal. So what is the secret sauce that makes this agent feel so intelligent? It's LangGraph. Think of LangGraph as a decision map for the AI. Each step in the research process, generating a search, checking the results, deciding what to do next, is a separate modular block. And you can easily swap these blocks in and out. Want the agent to check a private medical database before answering, or run a custom fact-checking tool? You can do that with just a few changes, without having to rebuild the entire system from scratch. It's flexible, it's transparent, and it's incredibly powerful. Performance is obviously a key concern. Yes, the agent takes extra steps to think, but it's designed to be smart about it. You can control how many times it loops when refining a question, putting a cap on the research process. And because it only provides a final, polished answer, you skip the messy token-by-token typing that we see in other models. It waits, gets everything right, and then delivers. And the visual polish matters too. The combination of modern design tools means the interface is clean, professional, and easy to use right out of the box. You get flexible layouts, pop-ups, and even a slick dark mode, all without writing complex CSS. For teams that usually spend weeks arguing over button styles, having a clean design system baked in is a massive time saver. One final brilliant touch, the memory system. Because background tasks are handled properly, you can ask a long, complex research question, close your browser, go make a cup of coffee, and come back later to find the completed answer waiting for you. The entire session is remembered. It just works. Now let's circle back to that question I mentioned earlier. What can you actually do with AI? While this incredible Gemini agent represents the high-end cutting edge of AI, the core technologies behind it are becoming more and more accessible. And savvy individuals are already using AI tools to build quiet, automated income streams. They're creating content, building niche websites, offering specialized services, and automating tasks they used to spend hours on. This isn't about becoming a tech genius or quitting your job. It's about using these new tools to work smarter, not harder. The difference with an agent like this Gemini Quickstart is profound. You can ask it incredibly specific or obscure questions, things that would completely stump a normal chatbot. And it doesn't just guess or apologize. It goes out and digs through real, credible sources, official documentation, expert forums, research papers, and gives you answers you can actually trust, with the links to prove it. No guessing, no fluff. Just solid, verifiable information. So now I have to ask you, are hyper-intelligent, fact-checking AI agents like this the future of how we find information online? Or is it still too early to trust them completely? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. I'm genuinely curious to hear what you think. And if you enjoyed this deep dive and want to stay ahead of the curve on all things AI, make sure you hit that subscribe button and give this video a like. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one.